Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm not a religious person, but it doesn't really matter. Justice is justice. And also, in order to be logical and realize what's going on, you don't have to have a dog in a fight. I'm talking about an important or high-ranking religious person in Ukraine, and this person right here was sentenced, he's a priest, they say, sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. So the high-ranking ROC priest in Ukraine sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. This is from August 7, 2023, the New Voice of Ukraine. So this is the Russian Orthodox Church. This is ROC. I couldn't remember what the hell that was. So Metropolitan in Yonafan Anatoly Yeletzkik, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church, ROC, diocese, in Ukraine's Vinnytsia Oblast, was sentenced to 5 years in prison with confiscation of property. The Prosecutor General Office reported on August 7. So what do you think he did? What do you think this guy did? All right, now that you said it, according to the press release, he was found guilty of inciting insurrection and calling for overthrow of the constitutional order, as well denying the armed Russian aggression against Ukraine. Let's ignore the first two. So he can't deny anything like this, right? Right. The prosecution proved in court, yes, in Ukrainian court, in January 2022, the priest, that in 2022, and the priest published an article on the website of his diocese, I don't think that's how you pronounce that, about the dominant role of the Russian Orthodox Church in Orthodox Christianity and alleged, and I'm quoting, dependence on the Orthodox Church of Ukraine. The article was widely circulated on the internet, particularly after the start of Russia's full-scale invasion. Is it a crime? Seems like. The Metropolitan also kept propaganda leaflets on his computer to distribute among his flock. These materials attempted to justify Russia's invasion of Ukraine and legitimize enemy troops occupying sovereign Ukrainian territory. Okay, so this is what he was found guilty of. Where is it? Right here. They see, it was proven this right here. Okay, and then they said he was found guilty of inciting insurrection, calling for an overthrow of constitutional order, as well as denying the armed Russian aggression against Ukraine. All right, now these guys in United States of America, they pretend to defend, whenever is abused, they defend, democracy, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and so on. But obviously, in this case, he's a special case. I don't know the details. I think neither you do, or do you? Anyway, the thing is, Ukraine is under martial law. So under martial law, a lot of civil liberties are limited. Therefore, you basically live under a dictatorship. Well, it's a limited dictatorship, but a lot of, as I said, liberties that you have, freedoms, are bypassed. Like, for instance, these guys are not going to have elections. You can't freely speak and, speak your mind or say, I disagree with that, I agree with that. Or you don't show enough sympathy for certain causes. I read an article on the last police officer who was condemned, sentenced in United States court, the one involved in George Floyd's situation, that he got a longer sentence because he didn't show remorse for his actions. Maybe he disagreed with the decision of the court, of the judge. So he was supposed to maybe jump down, break his clothes, cry and all that. He's sorry for something that maybe he might say, I didn't do. I don't think that's legitimate. I don't think that's justice. but he was supposed to show remorse for something that I assume that he disagreed with. Why? Because he was actually said he was not involved in all this. He said he was just keeping the traffic running and all that, but he didn't show remorse. Anyway, let's go back to these guys. We got this priest, Metropolitan Tralala, sentenced for what? 5 years was it? Or 3 years? What was it? 5 years. Well, remember, the US protested the Russian justice system for sentencing Navalny, that guy who's on someone's payroll, for being awarded 19 years in prison for certain things that he did, kind of the same thing. What did these guys say? They demanded that, hey, Navalny should be released and all that. And here, I don't hear anything. And you can say, well, there's not a war in Russia. Well, but the Russians are bad, aren't they? Don't they tell us all the time? So, double standard, you got it. I'm assuming that in the Western media you will not hear about this unless it's good job. They did a great job giving 5 years to this guy, sentencing this guy for 5 years in prison and confiscating his wealth, which I think is unbelievable. But anyway, this is Zelensky's democracy and freedom that these guys tell us resides in Ukraine. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.